Hi, my name is Megan Yingst, and today I am going to present on effective communication. So, this can be applied in everyday life, but we will mainly be talking about effective communication within an organization. Now, we'll start out by talking about the importance of communication. So, in the article, Workplace Communication Problems, Inquiries by Employees and Applicable Solutions, it talks about the 5 functions of management. These 5 functions are planning, organizing, staffing, leading, and controlling. And within each of these 5 functions, communication is key to properly managing a team. Now, within all of these functions and most of a team, verbal instructions are the main way that you get your team to do something, or that you convey these 5 functions that we're talking about within management. You're also going to have a lot of communication when expressing needs and wants to a team, along with employees expressing needs and wants to the management. So as we see here, communication is the most important skill to have within a workplace atmosphere. Now we're going to talk about workplace communication problems. It is nearly inevitable for every organization to have some type of communication problems at one time or another, and it is really important to be able to identify the problem and come up with a solution. So for starters, one of the main problems that was talked about in the same article, Workplace Communication Problems, is treating employees with respect. Employees want to be treated with respect and dignity, and when they are not, that causes a lot of problems within the workplace. Another thing that can cause some problems is the ask versus telling within management. So managers sometimes don't see that these are a different type of guidance. So when you keep telling employees what to do, they oftentimes will start to resent their management team. Now, within the article, Organizational Model of Effective Communication, they have the THINK model. And THINK stands for when you're talking, is it true? Is it helpful? Is it inspiring? Is it necessary? And is it kind? And this can apply to both management and employees when they're talking about each other, when they're talking about the organization. They just need to think before they speak, because if not, it does cause a lot of problems within communication and within the workplace. So now we'll go into just the model of communication. In the article, Organizational Methods of Effective Communication, it talks about 4 important items of the model of communication, and these 4 items are the source, the message, the channel, and the receiver. And this just talks about communication in general and sending a message. So the source is going to be the person who is trying to send the message. And when you think about this, you want to think about who they are, their background, their attitude, and their culture. And then they encode the message. So encoding is when you talk or send the message, and the message itself is just the content that you're trying to portray. It will then go through the channel, and it gets decoded by the receiver, which is the person that is actually receiving the message. And the channel is very important because you want to be able to know if the message is going to be received properly. So if they get distracted, if there's background noise, and other things that can throw off the message being received. Now, within any type of public speaking or conducting a meeting, you want to think of the elements within the message and the elements that you're trying to portray. So the article Effective Communication for Professional Excellence talks about these elements, and the three elements are mastery of the subject patterns, effective delivery, and body language. So it is important for mastering the subject pattern because you want your audience to be able to follow along. You want to use one subject pattern. And when I refer to a subject pattern, that is how you're portraying the message, that is how you're telling the story. So, for example, a narrative is telling a story by describing the characters and describing the dramatic scenes and flashbacks and flash forwards. So you want to choose a proper subject pattern and master that before telling the message. An effective delivery is just being able to keep your audience's focus and deliver it in a way that they're going to understand and stay focused. And your body language should match what you're doing. So you don't want to lose eye contact. You don't want to have huge gestures or anything that's going to distract your audience, but you do want it to match your story. Now, going on from there, we'll go into the caring feedback model. And this is a model that can resolve problems when they come across. So this model applies to when you're having an employee that has a problem or is coming into work late or something, and you're trying to talk to them about it in a caring manner. So you're going to state the purpose of the meeting and you want to state it positively. You're going to clearly state the situation at hand, discuss the consequences for other people involved. So if they're late a lot, it may affect customers. Use empathy when talking to them. Let them talk and tell their side of the story and truly care. Show that you care. And then state clear expectations to let them know that they still are expected to be there on time. So, in conclusion, it is very important to have good communication, to have a successful organization, and any good leader or manager has effective communication, and it is a learned skill. So, for people who do not have great communication skills, it's not the end of the world. It is able to be learned, and sometimes it does take a while, but it is extremely important for organizations to have effective communication.